Hey guys, Brian here with Better Chess Training, and I'm playing a 15-minute game on the Internet Chess Club. If you've been watching my games, you may notice that my rating has gone down precipitously. It's because I've played about 4 or 5 games in a row and lost. And hopefully I can turn it around here. I think I have a couple ideas as to what has been going on, but I'm going to try my best here today. And we're starting out here with a French defense, Rubinstein variation, and something I've been working on for a little while. And here is an interesting move, and it is d5. And so the question is what to do with this. Um, I think, let's take a look here. E takes d5, queen takes d5. Just want to make sure there's no traps here. Um, there's no checkmates here. And I think I think this is okay. And then after that, I could play knight to f6, yeah, well, let's go ahead and play that. I think we have to take that. I don't think, unless I wanted to play something like e5. But the equilibrium is not, there's no checkmate threats as of yet. And if he trades here, I don't actually necessarily have to take with the knight. I could take with the queen, which would, um, be something to look forward to as well. Here, let me show you what I mean here. Let's play knight g to f6, attacking the queen and the knight. Most likely he's going to trade here, and I have a choice here. I could take back with the knight, at which point he'd probably trade queens. Um, Not a big deal, I think. But if I actually take with the queen here, I think I have some interesting ideas with that as well. In any case, I don't think there's any problems anymore in my game. I do want to reserve the right to castle, although with the queens off it wouldn't be as big a deal. But here I think I reserve some options. So let's take a look. At any point, I might even play something like queen to e5 check to trade queens. But let's see what he has in mind. I don't think there's any danger anymore here. Okay, bishop to c5. Obviously, it's threatening something like checkmate here, although there isn't really a checkmate threat. I could actually play bishop to c5, which threatens checkmate against him. So we've got a few choices here. Let's go ahead and do that. So that doesn't threaten checkmate because you could play king to d1, but it'd be very uncomfortable, we'll put it that way. And I'm looking to castle next, and then my king will be totally safe. He can play a check, but I could block easily. Okay, so he is looking to castle himself. Let me just see if there's any tactical shots that may be available. Nothing as of yet. So a couple things that have to happen here. I'm going to have to move my bishop to safety if I want to move this knight. So let's go ahead and castle and get out of the way. I think it's pretty much a symmetrical position, especially after he castles. So I'm not really too worried at the moment. Okay, with him castling, then I can, let's see here, let's go ahead and shift things around. I'm going to go ahead and play bishop to d6, aiming at this h2 square. And I was expecting that. And what I'm going to do right now, a couple things I can do. I can actually take here if I want to, because there's no threat to my king at this point, and I can win a pawn. After he attacks me with the rook, I can just scooch back out via a3 or c3. So, or I could play something simpler, something like queen to g6, kind of aiming down at the king side. But you know what? I think we can just grab a pawn here. Sometimes I've been been making some tactical oversights. I think I mentioned this in another video. I haven't been able to study as systematically as I'd wanted to lately. Okay, here he is moving his bishop back. I think the idea is he's trying to avoid this fork with knight to b6. And I need to develop my own light square bishop, so I do need to do something there. And I think what I can do is, well, do I want to get my queen out? I could still escape via a3, so that is always an option there. Key is not to get trapped. And so what I think I might do is take a turn to get my queen out of trouble. Let's see, what would be the best square though? Let's go with queen to c3, and then my idea here, I could always retreat to something like c5 if I'm being threatened. Okay, stepped away for a second from the keyboard, but I am back. So let's see, rook a to c1, very interesting. Strategically, the only difficulty I have is finding a place to develop my knight, because this bishop here, actually I could just put it here on f6, because my queen is covering the f6 square as well. And then I'll be able to develop my my other bishop. So I think I can go ahead and do that. And even if it gets eliminated, I'll come back with the queen. Then I could look at something like bishop to e6. So in this type of situation, but I do have to be careful because this pawn is hanging at the moment. So I can take a little time to develop this bishop because there aren't any immediate threats. I'm a pawn up right now. Okay, so he is playing. What is the idea behind this move here? Queen to b5. I'm not sure what his idea is. Is there any way? The only thing I can think of is that he might be trying to trap my queen, but I could really just bring my queen back here. So I'm not sure why. What I'm going to do, though, I think is, well, you know what we can do here is I can either attack this queen with this pawn or protect here. The reason I might want to, I'm thinking of playing a6. The reason why is because I'm going to be moving this rook at some point, and that way there's a little protection here for this pawn, because if this rook moves, it would be hanging here on a7. Okay, so far so good on the clock. I might want to move a little quicker. And here, my opponent just made a mistake. I've been thinking about this, and now my opponent's queen is trapped. Well, there's going to be an exchange here. After b5, he can play something like bishop to, well, no, I'm sorry, his queen can escape along this rank, although a lot of the squares are covered. So let's see here. I can go ahead and play this, and that is fine. And now I can develop this bishop. Okay, so if he exchanges here, he can double these pawns, the g and the f pawn, but there's no threats there. I do have to be careful to make sure not to do anything foolish, but I'm actually threatening to win a pawn here with bishop takes f3 and queen takes f3. And so now, interestingly, he will play knight to d4. So what is the idea there? Now he wants to win a pawn. Can I just play bishop to e5, threatening this knight? Where can this knight go? This knight might go back to e2, threatening my... and then I could just play, actually I could just play back to c6, threatening checkmate. So we're actually okay here. So my idea is to play bishop to e5, which protects this knight. And if he moves to knight to e2 to threaten my queen, I just move queen to c6, threatening checkmate right here. So I'm actually threatening this knight to win this knight as well. So he has to react to that. Okay, bishop takes queen. And the problem here, it looks like, I believe he's going to lose this knight now, because I'm threatening his queen. I'm forking his queen and his knight. So taking the knight here was a mistake. So here, okay, he's going to threaten my... couple ways I can do this. I can do some type of desperado where I take his bishop, but then he can take my bishop. Is there a way for me to threaten something like his knight, his hanging knight here, and still maintain this? Let's see here. Could play bishop to e5, for example. I could play queen to c. I could play queen to c6, threatening checkmate. I could just take his queen, then he can take back, and then I'll have the two bishops. So a few options here. Let's see. Trying to look for a way to take advantage of this. I'm not sure if there is, and I should think quickly. Where would I rather have my queen? I guess that's the question. Something like this, queen to d2 is interesting, and looking at bringing it back here. I think the idea is I want to... Is trading queens an option? There's something, I'm probably missing something really good, guys. Knight's hanging. But is there a way to attack it? That's the hard part here. And I'm running out of time. So do not want to lose this on time. I think what we can do is centralize the queen. I'm attacking the knight and still attacking his queen. He's going to have to move it somewhere to protect the knight, somewhere like this specifically. And then at that point, I could play something like c5 actually, threatening to trap this bishop. So this position isn't super complicated, but just have to be aware now because it's a fairly open position. The two bishops should be an advantage. I have a pawn advantage as well. After he actually goes to protect that knight, if he moves his knight, he has to move the queen, basically, unless he wants to try some type of counterattack against my queen, which I don't see anything that he can do. If he plays something like f4, then I just play queen to c5 check, and then I take his queen. But I doubt he would do something like that. One other thing is to start developing my other pieces. This rook, I can improve the position. This rook I like here because it's protecting f7 for now, in case he tries something, some funny business. Okay, and he's just hung his queen. I will go ahead and take it. And so he should resign any moment now. Yep, there it is. And back over 1700, 1709 is my new rating, and hope to get back over 1800 fairly soon. So I'll do some analysis maybe in a follow-up video, but I hope you enjoyed this one. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please press the like button and subscribe if you want to get updated on more videos. I try to create videos that will help you improve your chess, including annotated games, tactics videos, general tips, as well as commentary on my own games to let you know about my thought process, and also so that we can learn together. I'm also on this journey to try to improve my chess, so if there's anything that you notice in my videos that I can improve upon, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, good luck with your chess, and I will see you soon.